Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Ted, coach of the Pummeling Licky Lickies, and today I'm bringing you guys another power rankings video for week number one. I'm joined here by Bryan, coach of the Charlotte Beedrills. Say hello.
Hey, what's up, guys?
Um, and yeah, like I said, we're just going over the week one battles. Nothing really much to it. So let's just dive right in. So first matchup is the Cardiff Kamalas against the Etheris Salamandras. It was the 2-0 victory for the Kamalas. Now, I believe this game was recorded by the. Actually, no, I don't.
Probably the
I don't
first.
think. I don't think it was right.
Let me check the VLS thing.
I don't know if it's the battles I didn't watch or if it was just wasn't recorded. Um,
Where did the S? Where did? Oh, wait, I'm in the wrong thing. Okay, there it is. Sorry. Let me see. Okay, this does not look like it was recorded.
okay, so it wasn't. So we're just gonna go over the battle report. It just looks like game two. Tourneys Landorus Incarnate did most of
Yeah.
the work here with getting 2 kills. Um, and the Umbreon is little bit not shocking, but it's expected because looking at both sides, and the Umbreon can do a decent amount of work. Um, Again, Slurpuff is there. We see Umbernin with the Indeedee mail, so that's there for an option. They did bring the Tapu Koko, which is not surprising as well. But I think, like, overall, looking at the battle report, I think that Lando and the Umbreon did a lot of work, despite not showing any, um,
Right. Lando,
video.
the
Yeah,
incarnate form of Landorus in these non-Dynamax formats is weirdly kind of better than the Therian because it has access to the sheer force ability that it doesn't always have. There's not always a way to get a legitimate sheer force Landorus in the game. So in this series, it is actually really easy to get. So in these non-Dynamax formats, Lando I just puts in a lot of work offensively. You can run a special set, you can run a mix set. So yeah, Lando I is definitely a threat in these non-Dynamax formats. And without these really super buff max moves, Umbreon can work really well as like a tank with like foul play, yawn, all kinds of things it can do. So yeah, definitely not a surprise that Lando I and Umbreon were the stars of this show.
yeah. And also, it's just Umbreon is just really tanky. It's really hard to take down without a fairy or fighting moves. So
Yeah.
they did have the Slurp buff, like I said, but I think it just wasn't enough to take out the Lando or any of the other mons that the Kamalas brought. Um,
It's really just kind of the supportive Unburden user. It doesn't have a lot of power in its moves, but it has a really good support set with its
yeah,
Unburden. So if it was maybe an offensive Unburden user, maybe that might have been a different story. But with Slurpuff kind of being the more supportive one, you kind of want it up front. Go ahead and get the Unburden off. Do its support moves and let it go down pretty quickly. That's typically how you would want to run a Slurpuff, but it definitely looks like the Salamander were able to make the second game a good one. So it's always good when if you lose your first one that you make the second one a good one. So
yeah, it's always a good case. Yeah, there's nothing really much else to said because nothing really much else being said because we don't have a video for this, so we're just going off by the report. Right. So the next match are the Camerups versus the Mawels. It was a 2-1 win for the Camerups. There was a video for this. My good buddy Squirrely. I'll probably put a link down below to his channel as well as to the other coaches. So, better you guys check that out. I think by watching this match, I think the sun mode definitely helped Squirrely a lot. especially the Shift Tree Ninetales. Very powerful combo. Even though I'm not a big fan of Shift Tree in Sun, it's still pretty powerful in this game. Um, Incineroar was a big problem because now it's on the top. I'm pretty sure it's on the top of the kill leaderboard with 8 kills. I'm pretty sure eight or seven. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah, those are just the basic thoughts that I thought of when I was watching this video.
Mhm. Yeah, Incineroar, 6 kills, number 2 on the kill leader.
Okay, yeah, I think it was on top for a while. I have to look
Yeah.
back at that.
Oh yeah, and plus, okay, yeah, it was, but yeah, Cartifex has already played their week 2, so
Yeah.
that's why. That's why it's back. That's why Landers is up there at number 1 right now. But yeah, Incineroar definitely good in no matter what format you play, whether it's Dynamax or non-Dynamax. So
Yeah.
always gotta look out for Incineroar.
Um, the models did make a good use of the Rotom fan, which is something I wanted to see.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it only came the game three. I guess it did good for its debut. Nothing, nothing really, nothing really much needs to be said about that. It's like one of those like Rotom forms that you see people use, but you rarely see being drafted. So it's just one of those mons that I'm excited to see this season being used. And Heracross again, another one for the camera ups. Did big work in game one and game two, picking up 3 kills. So again, it's another mon that's mostly underused in a competitive format, but getting a lot of usage here in a draft format, which it can do really well.
Yeah, the sometimes the lower form, lower tiered Rotoms like Frost and Mo are actually really good for their tiers. So even though they're kind of underpicked, they put in the right situation. They can put in a lot of work, and it looks like it did put in the work for this game 3, but it just wasn't enough at the end of the day.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I watched this
They
video.
got the first 2 in game 3. It KO'd the Garchomp, which is always a threat, and then the Heracross, and then just eventually it came down to I guess a 1v1 between Ninetales and Urchan Fan, and I guess Ninetales won that, obviously.
Yeah. 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 I watched this video very vaguely. Um. But I did remember that the Shift G9 shows and Hairgrass did a lot of work in all games.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, there's nothing really much being said about this. I think congrats on the camera ups on their first one in the new season, and I'm looking forward to more battles starring them. So yeah, moving on. Um, Next we have this game was a double forfeit. Again, for a reminder of the entire league and all the other coaches, please get your matches done on time. Don't wait to the very end to schedule matches because it's just a lot of pain for us mods and especially for other players to to witness this. So yeah, just a reminder for everyone: nobody's in trouble. Just make sure to schedule matches on time. Um,
Yeah.
yeah. Moving on, we have the Holy Supad Warriors against the Machesini Park Slowbros. The Warriors pick up the 2-0 win. Um, I did watch this battle from Rex's side. Uh, as I expected, Celesteela does a lot of work here. It was incredibly hard for Adam to break through that. Um, and the same thing in game two, like the Hippowdon and Tapu Fini was a huge problem. Um, However, I do think Adam kind of adapted really well. Not in game two, but in game one, I can see that the Golduck got 2 kills. So I can tell like possibly he adapted really well in the first game there at the end, but wasn't quite enough to pull off the win. But yeah, I think overall from Rex's side, the Celestial was just too much for Adam to handle.
Yeah, Celestial is just one of those mons where it can do literally anything it wants to. It can run physical set, it can run special set, it can run the bulky supportive set. There's just so much that Celestial can do, and you can't always guess what it's going to do based on team preview. So sometimes it's really hard if you're not as well prepared for multiple modes of Celesteela. If you only prepare for one side and it comes a different way, then it's going to be really hard for you to take care of. So
Yeah, totally agree. Um, yeah, yeah, yeah. Rex's team is just really bulky, hard to break through.
yeah,
Um,
there's mons with bulk, or like I said, the previously mentioned Celesteela. There is Hippowdon, very physically bulky. The Frost Rotom has a lot of special bulk. Obstagoon, decently bulky, not too bad. But Tapu Fini, definitely, if you get like Calm Minds, or I think this one also gets Iron Defense as well. So there's
yeah.
a lot of bulk going on the Gliscopod side, which is really good in these non-Dynamax formats.
No, I think the Tapu Fini was a Calm Mindset. I have to go back and
Mm-hmm.
rewatch it because it's been quite a bit. But I think it was Calm Mindset. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
just
makes
really
sense.
hard
Less
for Adams.
something
Yeah, it's
common
just
way to
really
run those Phoenix are like Calm Mind, E-Gleam, something else. Oh, this is the water one, so it's
yeah.
D-Gleam, I guess Water Pulse or Muddy Water with like
Hydro
leftovers.
Pump as well. I'm pretty sure Hydro
Gotcha,
Pump.
yeah.
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 But yeah, overall, it was just really hard for Adam's special mons to break through the Tapu Fini. Um,
Yep.
yeah, there's nothing really much being said about. So next, moving on, we have your match actually, the
Yeah.
Terrors versus the Beedrills. You can take this away since you're the expert of this match since you played it.
Um,
So go
so
ahead.
I had a really hard matchup just from the straight off of things. Comfey, Dragapult, an extremely difficult combo to get around, even if you don't allow him to proc the policy. I it was like the if you think he's gonna proc policy, he's probably not. He's just gonna floral healing up, and it's just that the Comfey just has so many mind games and threw me for quite a couple loops. I didn't do very well, but I'm hoping that it was just the really bad matchup, and I can turn some things around in the next couple weeks, the rest of
Yeah,
the season.
you did bring the Trick Room mode, but I can also see that the Terrors also brought their own with a Scavalier and the Comfey being able
Mm-hmm.
to have Trick Room. So it's a little bit like Trick Room versus Trick Room, but they do have the Dragapult, which was tricky for you uh,
Yeah,
to to get around. Um, and
especially with
and
three priority,
yeah,
plus three priority healing moves. God,
yeah,
Comfey is a monster.
yeah. And you adjusted like okay in game two. Um, but again, as their your trigger mode, you didn't bring the Rankaroo, which was good. Um, but yeah, it was just really hard in both games to adjust to the Comfey and the Dragapult.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, yeah, yeah. That's it for this match. Um, next, we have the Bistro Bewares against the Marauders. I did also watch this match from the Marauders side.
Yeah,
Uh,
I did
yeah,
just finished watching that one.
yeah,
Let me just look through the report one more time. Okay, I found it. So basically, Gengar was a really big issue for the Marauders. His Urshifu wasn't running the Sucker Punch. He had dropped it for Poison Jab. And I think if maybe that Urshifu was running the sucker punch, she could have double targeted into the Focus Sash Gengar and taken it out earlier than he could have, at least in game two, at least. But he did a good job at trying to identify who the Scarf user was. I think it ended up being a Crocodile, I believe, with the Rock Slide. Scarf Rock Slides. So, um, good idea. Good job of trying to identify the opponent, but it was just a little too much for Marauders to handle.
Yeah. Um, I guess I'm like slightly disappointed with the Marauders. Not too much. I think they played really well. I think game one was definitely good for them, getting a lot of information just solely from like the Crocodile and the Gengar. Um, Again, like you said, the Gengar was a huge problem for them. If only they had the Sucker Punch, it would have made a huge difference for them and possibly even get them to game three and maybe even win that game. So yeah, it's just a lot of mind games and how well you prep going into these matches. But yeah, I think overall both sides played really well. Just that the viewers come up on top. No, Inteleon, I really like Inteleon. A good job of the Marauders bringing it here. Had a really good matchup. Able to secure the Crocodile and Zapdos. Um, yeah,
It was a good battle to watch. I enjoyed watching it.
yeah. So yeah, that's a quick one. Moving on to the next match. We got the premiere, which was my match against Sum and the Crushing Steel Valleys. So going into this week for week one, I realized that against Sum's team, our teams are very similar in terms of bulk and in terms of our offensive power. Um, so I realized that the only really way to actually break through their bulky defenses was with Sharpedo. Sharpedo offers a lot of coverage, especially against the Hitmontop, Toxapex, Cinderace, even Togekiss, all those mons which he brought onto the match. I felt like game one I played I think I played really smart, predicting a lot of their attacks, going for protects. Um, Again, there's a lot of RNG in both games. Honestly, they missed a Powerball. If you didn't see that in the first game, which was crucial, keeping the Rio alive for much later. But again, the Toxapex was just really annoying. I shouldn't have left it alone. I should have taken it out as soon as I possibly can. Um, Again, also made the mistake of not going Psychic Fangs when I clicked Screech into the Toxapex, which could have possibly KO'd it with the coaching boosts I had and the speed boosts I had. So, um, yeah, that was a little bit disappointed about game one. Game two, not so much. I kind of played really badly. Um, leading Sigilyph and Serena was I do admit that it was slightly a bad idea. Um, but again, there's nothing really much I could control there. Um, uh, their Togekiss surviving a triple axle from Serena, which was big for them. They did have a decent amount of defensive investment in the Togekiss, so living on like about, I'm pretty sure what some said was like 5 or 6 HP they had left on the Togekiss. So nothing much he could do there. Um,
Yeah.
and the final 2 or 3 turns, it was like a do or die moment. Like there's nothing really much I could do. It was either take out the Togekiss or the Jolteon, and I just went for the Jolteon. Yeah, like I got hit by Togekiss with the Dazzling Gleam. So I'm not too disappointed for the first showing. I do typically lose a week one game, so it's not surprising. I do think I played really well, but congrats to Sam taking the week one win over the Licky Lickies.
Yeah,
Uh,
sometimes you just have really bad matchups, and there's not you can do all the prep in the world, but that just really bad matchup is just gonna be really hard to take advantage of, really hard to overcome.
yeah. All right. So next we have the final matchup for week one. We have the Holy City Weavals up against the Lily Cove Sharpedos. Um, I believe this match was not uploaded as well. Um,
Oh,
I'm pretty sure it wasn't. I'm not sure.
we're looking in for
Yeah,
video content.
yeah. Let's see.
Oh,
Yeah,
doesn't
it
look like.
wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, this is one we're just gonna go for the battle report.
So it looks like game one, the Weaviles were able to take advantage of their rain mode with the Pelipper and Dreadnought. Hydreigon doing most of the damage here. Um, yeah, there appears that the Sharpedos did bring their hail mode, but it just wasn't enough to take out their kind of okayish rain mode, I would say. Um,
Yeah.
but it is quite surprising that the Hydreigon was able to survive this long up against the hail mode. So yeah, that's just really something that's eye popping to me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it looks like game two, the Sharpedos are able to bring it back here. Uh, again, I think they led off with the Weavels led with their rain mode. Um, and then possibly the Sharpedos they either led the Rapid Strike for Urshifu or had it in the back. But either way, Urshifu was able to pull off a win for the Sharpedos. Um, this did work,
Yep. And
and
then
go ahead.
we went back. It looks like the Lily Coast Torpedoes went back to their hail mode for game three with Vanillix putting in a lot of work. Thunder's putting in a lot of work. Oh, wait, that's the other team. Never mind.
Yeah,
But Ditto, Dusclops, Saki, Urshfu, okay. Let's see who that is.
yeah. It looks like game three. Either they possibly led with Ditto or Thwacky or Ditto with Vanillux. But either way, again, Urshifu and Vanillux did a lot of work against a very weak team that's weak to ice. Um,
Mm-hmm.
now, not there really much you could do about a matchup. You just have to adapt to the situation. But again, Ship Raiders are able to bring it back after a game one loss, which is always good to see. Uh, yeah, there's nothing really much else being said about this match for me. Anything else from you?
Yeah. No, I'm. It's hard to put things together through just battle reports.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the end of week one review. It's pretty short. Again, two battles didn't have videos to watch, so it's just really hard to see what actually happened. And we also had a double forfeit this week, so again, that match wasn't played. So really short recap for week one. So moving on to week two. Now I know you guys watching the video right now. If you guys are, there is a match that has already been played. Now for that match, we're just gonna go over it. We're not actually going to review the match until week two power rankings. So we're just going off of what we would have thought if the match hadn't been played. So yeah.
Yeah.
So first match we got the Mawiles and the Crawdonts. Let's see here. So I'm just going to do this. Oops.
See the Mawwiles. They have the Incineroar, Latias, Terrakion, Elma, Slowbro, Morgrim, Toxicroak, Lycanroc, McNock, the Tick, Buffalon, Rotom Fan, and it was against you said the Crawdonts?
Yeah, and they have Torkoal, Aromatisse, Crobat, Gallade, Gothorita, Heliolisk, Lilligant, Durant, Flygon, Glaceon, and Dedenne. Um, Now, with this head-to-head match, I think that what would be best if I were the Crawdons would be leading off with either a Trick Room, possibly bringing their Trick Room mode, or even bringing their Sud mode. It does a decent amount to the Mawiles. Again, they do have the Incineroar that's going to be very annoying with the parting shot and fake outs everywhere. Um, but I think against the Mawiles, I think that Suncores can do a decent amount, especially to Terrakion and Milotic. So yeah, that's what I would do if I was in the Chronon's shoes. Um, Again, it just depends on the coach. Um,
Mawile has a better answer for Trick Room than Sun, even though technically Incineroar is a good answer to Sun in itself. It being a fire type, it can power up its Flare Blitzes. I'm seeing a lot of Pokemon that have like sort of a low or middling speed tier, so just trying to play in the Trick Room could be a decent answer for the Mawiles to use. I think
mhm.
it could be a decent answer. But definitely the Sun mode looks really interesting with Torkoal and Heliolisk. And then Lilligant also as being a supportive chlorophyll user with like after use and sleep powders and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what the Crawdons bring.
Yeah. I also want to see the Rotom fan again. Tom, if you're watching this, which you probably will be, you better bring the Rotom fan. I want to see more of that. And I think it can do again. I think it can do a good amount to the Cardants if put in the right situation um, against the Sun team. They do have Morgrim, uh, which can do a good amount in Sun. I'm pretty sure it gets. I'm pretty sure it does get Rain Dance. I'm not sure, but if it does, then I can reverse the Sun and put in if we can put the Maballs in a good spot. Um, yeah, that's all I'm seeing right now. Again, I won't say a whole lot because I don't want to reveal any more strats in a power ranking video. So we just have to see how the match goes in the future. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Anything else to
Mm-hmm.
say?
No, I think I'm good on this one.
All right. Um,
Next up is the Chesney Park Slowpokes versus the Irish Incineroars.
yeah.
And the
So
Slowpokes run Whimsicott, Volcarona, Salamence, Diggersby, Gardevoir, Luxray, Golduck, Doublade, Drugalgi, Weavile, and Octillery.
and then the Incineroars have Dracovish, Tyranitar, Braviary, Klefki, Magmortar, Venusaur, Dugtrio, Lola, Rapidash, Galar, Trevenant, and Machoke and Magneton. So we did not see the Incineroars play last week due to a double forfeit. So we do not know how they're going to play this game. By just simply looking, though, I think like their sand could do a good amount to the Slowpokes with
Mm-hmm.
Dracovish. Um, Again, the Slowpokes do have an answer to that. They do have Salamence and Weavile.
And Whimsicott there just to go ahead and double the speed immediately with Tailwind.
Yeah,
So it's like a double Weather Core versus just a way he can against Whimsicott is just a really good answer to both their Sand and their Sun. So obviously Magmortar can help with the Whimsicott, but if the Incineroars are thinking just going for a weather, then Whimsicott in theory could just stop it right then and there. So the Whimsicott's looking really good and as a support in this matchup.
Mhm.
But yeah, I definitely like the Volcarona, the Salamence, the Dragalge. So
I think also potentially for the Incineroar side, they could potentially bring Bravery, support Bravery. It does get Tailwind, so it could instantly set up Tailwind after the Slowpokes set up their own Tailwinds to be
yeah.
faster, or to boost it, Dracovich's speed already when it's in sand. So
Yeah.
that's a potential scenario I could see.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think also the Trick Room is really strong as well with Trevenant. Um, I think that's their only slow tier mod minus Machoke. So
Yeah.
not really a good idea, but I think it's an option that's there and something to consider.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, I think that's all that I'm seeing right now. Anything else from you?
Mm, not really. But we'll move on to the next one.
All right. Um, okay, so we have the Camerups against the Kamalas. Um, so Camerups have the Garchomp, Ninetales, Snorlax, Suicune, Charizard, Mr. Rhyme, Togedemaru, Heracross, Vaporeon, Mawile, and Shiftry. And then the Kamalas have Landorus Incarnate, Tapu Koko, Gyarados, Umbreon, Duraludon, Sceptile, Centiskorch, Sock, Togepi, sorry, Lopunny, and Purloin.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think again this week against for the Kamalas, I think their main four cores with Lando, Coco, Gyarados, and Umbreon is really good against uh, the Camerups.
Mm-hmm.
Um, however, I think they have they have a good Trick Room core with Mister Rhyme and Snorlax. I think if they do bring this in this match, um, it could do a good amount. Again, Garchomp and Suicune paired together is also good. Setting up the Tailwind and just going hammering down with Garchomp is also good.
Yep.
Um, but yeah, I think overall the Kamalas have a good answers to the Camerups.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that's what I think. You can go
Yeah.
ahead. So what you want to say?
I agree with that. Gyarados just looks really good in this matchup. It's got super effective for Garchomp, Ninetales, Charizard, Togedemaru, Heracross, Shiftry, Mr. Rhyme. So yeah. Uh, so the Gyarados looks really good in that matchup, I'd say.
Yeah. Um, yeah. That's it for this matchup. Um, whoops. Go back here. So next we have the Holy Sopad Warriors up against the Etherius Salamandras. Um, so we know these teams. The Warriors have Celesteela, um, Hippowdon, Tapu Fini, Verizon, Dracozolt, Slazzle, Stoutland, Obstagoon, Rotom Frost, Spiritomb, and Swoobat. And the Salamandras have Extra Gel, Tornadus Incarnate, Gudra, Indeedee Male, Jellicent, Rotom-Mow, Fletchinder, Hitmonchan, Slurpuff, Skuntank, and Sudowoodo.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think the main key for the Salamandras is obviously getting up a Tailwind off because it's going to be extremely hard to break through their bulky, um, their main bulky support and offensive bulky or bulky
Mm-hmm.
offensive mons. So
Yeah.
I think their main key is setting up a Tailwind. Um, again, extra joke can totally come because there's a chance of it Bowdon coming with Sandstream. So Sandrush extra does look good here. I think as well as Gudra. either on the physical or special side, does get a good amount of coverage for all the Warriors mons. So I think again, it's another option that could potentially come as well.
Mhm.
Um, the trigger mode doesn't look quite strong here against the Warriors. The Warriors do have answers to that, so um, not quite enticed towards them running a trigger mode, but it is something that I could see them run. Um, and also the unburden doesn't look quite good here as well. Those are just my thoughts. Um,
Yeah, I think definitely getting the the prankster tailwind is going to be really key in this matchup. But even if it's going to be like offense versus bulk, then bulk might just be able to the bulk that the Warriors have might just be enough to where it doesn't really matter if he gets a tailwind up. So it's just gonna have to. It'll probably depend at the team preview whether they went or the Warriors went for a very bulky set or not. So
yeah,
I think the Warriors have a better shot at this one.
yeah. Again, I feel like this is it's going to be a very close match. Just looking at both teams, I think it's going to come down to if the Warriors can outplay them or outbulk them, which they might do. So um, this is going to be a match I'm going to keep my eye out for. So yeah, this just one of the matchups I like this week.
Yeah,
Um, so next we have the Crushing Savalis up against the Bristol Bewares, both coming off good wins. Um, so the
yeah,
Bewares have Primarina, Zapdos, Crocodile, Sableye, Gengar, Weezing, Decidueye, Lycanroc, Manectric, Magmar, and Walrein. And the Savalis have Cinderace, Togekiss, Gourgeist, Hitmontop, Jolteon, Savali, Orbeetle, Steelix, Toxapex, Dredigan, and Porygon. Now, I think again it's just another one of these battles where I think the prep and how the leads are going to be very key. I think for the Bewares, they have to be careful against some's bulky cores because it's going to be incredibly hard to break through. Um, like the Toxapex, Savali, and even Orbeetle can all be tough to break through. Again, the Beavers do have Zapdos, Galar, and Crocodile and Gengar for their main offensive pressures. Um, and Premium Unite is also something potentially they could bring. Um, again, it's another offensive bulky-ish mon um, that could come.
mm-hmm.
Sableye would definitely also be a problem for at least for the Sylvalis. If again they spread burn really easily, is gonna be a huge problem if they are unable to deal with that. Um, again, Wheezing again is another Pokemon, and it can also be a huge threat if not taken seriously. So um, just something to watch out for, I think. Um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Yeah, like I said, like I mentioned before, it's just going to come down to bulk and the how the prep goes for both sides. Um,
Yeah, I would agree.
anything else being to be said?
I don't think so. But
All right. Um, so next we have my match, the Licky Lickies up against the Weaviles. Um, so we have Landers, Therian, Thundurus Incarnate, Cobalion, Hydreigon, Alcremie, Pelipper, Beartic, Corsola, Lurantis, Dreadnought, Explode, and I have Spectrier, Lipard, Licky Licky, Serena, Nidoking, Sigalith, Tangela, Torracat, Aggron, Riolu, and Sharpedo. Um, I think I already prepped for this match, so I don't want to say a whole lot. But I think the Weaviles, for their key to victory would essentially just have the Thunderous and Lando both come. I think both are going to be a huge problem. Again, Intimidate is always good. Um, so it's going to be very tricky to to go up against that. They can always recycle Intimidate if they ever want to and click U-turn out. Um, Again, Thunderous has Prankster, so it can either be an offensive variant or it can be a support variant. So, but either or, it's really dangerous. And I think their rain card can do a decent amount as well. But again, it's something that's there, but I don't think it will come. But if it does, I won't be surprised. Um, Hydreigon, Kobali, and Alcremie. I feel like those are just wild cards. I believe I do expect them to come, but if they don't, it's not really surprising. But if they do, I won't be surprised as well. So um, yeah, I think this match is pretty even. I won't say I won't immediately say, oh, I'm the winner of this match. I think it's pretty even and it can go either way. So yeah, I won't jinx myself because I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose week two. I want to bounce back. And I know Jerry Bean also wants to bounce back as well. So I'm really excited for this match, and I can't wait to play against Jerry.
Awesome.
Yeah. Anything from you?
I think you know your team better than anyone else, so I think that's gonna be on you.
All right. All right. So next we have the premiere match. It's been confirmed. We have the Marauders up against the Beedrills. Um, So we have Indeedee Female, Urshifu, Mimikyu, Thundurus, Hitmonlee, Inteleon, Berserker, Roserade, Turtonator, Frostmoth, and Quagsire. And then
I'm running Rotom Wash, Mienshao, Aerodactyl, Bombay, Kling Klang, Sandaconda, Flapple, Rapidash, Oranguru, Toxtricity, and Herdier. This one definitely is going to be I think this will be a much better one to watch. I think both of these teams are decently even. I've had a lot of practice battles, and they've basically gone 50-50 on who's going to win them. So it'll be interesting. He's got a decent terrain mode I have to deal with, and the certain Turtonator sets, like a setup set with like Iron Defense, Body Press is really hard to get around, especially since the Turtonator can't be crit. But if it's but it could also do like Shell Smash stuff to get fast as well. So I've got quite a bit to think about.
Mm-hmm. I think also as well, like Follow Me is also going to be really annoying for you.
Yeah.
I think you do have setup mons. So if you do bring that, the Indeedee is going to be very annoying. But I think your Tricker mode is also looking really good here as well. They do have Trickermancers with Mimikyu. But I think other than that, there's nothing really much they could really do to that answer. But like you said, like Turtonator is going to be a potential threat with Shell Smash, and I think their other threats are also going to be very dangerous. So yeah, I just can't wait to see this premiere. This will be a late premiere. It will be on Monday, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, guys.
We couldn't find time to play until Sunday night, and everyone will be asleep by the time the videos are done recording and the battle's done and all that kind of stuff. So we're just gonna do it the next day. It's gonna go up on his channel. I'll get my version up on Tuesday. I'm not gonna have much time Monday probably. So Tuesday's the best chance I can get my battle up.
Yeah, no worries. Again, just stay tuned for that. video nation. So yeah,
Mhm.
and then next we have the final battle for week 2. We have the Lily Cove Sharpedos and the Tokyo Terrors. Sharpedos have Grimmsnarl, Urshifu, Rabbit Strike, Dusclops, Registeel, Cradily, Vanillux, Arctovish, Ditto, Flareon, Lantern, and Thwackey. And the Terrors have Arcanine, Dragapult, Comfey, Scrafty, Scavalier, Swampert, Colossal, Crystal, Miraculous, and Audino, and Impidimp. I think it's another match that's very equal. The Terrors have their highly offensive Dragapult with Comfey, and the Sharpedos have their bulky support, Dusclops, Registeel, Cradily, and Grimmsnarl for support. The hail mode is going to also be the hail mode looks really good here. I think, um, and also the Urshifu looks decent enough here as well. Potentially breaking either a Focus Sash Dragapult or any other mon that has Focus Sash here as well.
Mhm.
So in my eyes, I think it's a pretty even match. But again, it's another match that can go either way.
Mhm. This one might be a little harder to do the weakness policy one due to the hail mode with Vanillux and Arctovish. If Arctovish can be faster than I don't know if it can or not, but if he can find a way to outspeed the Dragapult, that could be a little bit of an issue. Uh, but Arctovish is really kind of a slower Slush Rush user, so I'm not sure what the calc is
Mhm.
for that. But definitely Grimmsnarl and like Registeel, they can all just they all have ways of mitigating damage. So it'll be interesting to see what their answer will be for Comfey Dragapult, because that's always something that a team's gonna have to prep for.
Yeah, they do have Arcanine with Intimidate. Again, Intimidate is always a problem, so there's something to watch out for. I think is going to be a key factor um, in the games that are going to be played in this match. So, um, yeah.
But Rapid Strike doesn't care about Intimidate either, so that's
Yeah,
also something that Michael will have to account for. That Urshifu Rapid Strike.
yeah. So it'll either have to run Will Wisp or some other damage or some other status move to
Mm-hmm.
slow down their offensive bulky support team. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a wrap up for both week 1 and week 2 recaps. So do you have anything else to say before we cut it off here?
Just everyone continue your battles done in time and have fun doing it.
Yeah. So yeah, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this power rankings video. Um, is I know it's not the same as the other division and the way that they do it, but you know, is just something that I want to explore this season and how other people react to it. So just continue. We just continue on doing this, and we'll be back for week 3 power rankings. Hopefully, the other two players would join us. Fortunately, they didn't have time enough in their schedule to come due to other remaining outside factors. So yeah, it's just me and Bryan this week. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys next time, Video Nation. Peace.
All right, bye guys.